Good evening, fellow Singaporeans. Thank you for joining us tonight. You have braved the crowds and the weather to be with us, so thank you so much. And for those of you at home and tuning in from elsewhere, across the world even, thank you for investing in our shared future. My name is Andre Lau Wu Yang. I am your candidate for Jalan Kayu SMC. Look around you, the team we've assembled for you. We have educators, innovators, advocates, professionals. We come from all walks of life, yet we stand together, united by a singular mission for a more compassionate Singapore. We are the Workers' Party team for GE 2025. Now, why politics? Why opposition politics? We have all asked ourselves this question. For me, it starts with a healthy skepticism, instilled by my parents from an early age. I was taught by them, both teachers, to embrace my curiosity and to not be afraid to question those in authority, something I always turn back on them to their frustration. This bold curiosity is what led me to leave behind a promising career in the law to explore the world of technology. It's this same curiosity that led me to the door of the Workers' Party in 2020. But volunteering is one thing. With my first child due in August, becoming a candidate is an entirely different proposition. How can I be the best father I can be to my daughter, but still give my all to Singapore? But then I looked at my family, my dearest wife, my parents, my friends, my village, and I knew they would have my back. I also remembered the pioneers that came before us, the brave explorers who stepped up and laid the path for us. Mr. Lau Tia Kiang, JBJ, they had the iron in them. I have the iron in me. They laid the foundations for me to step up, and that is why I am here speaking to you today. Residents of Jalan Kayu, for those of you in the crowd, this is my commitment to you. I will be a dedicated MP. I will be a present MP. I live right next door in Punggol. I will be there as often as I can possibly be. My father was a D&T teacher, design and technology. He taught me how to be hands-on. We bonded over changing light bulbs and fixing leaks. I'm going to take the same hands-on approach to Jalan Kayu and Fernvale. I set up the MPS sessions for Mr. Chua here from scratch in Rivervale here in Sengkang. I will do the same for my Jalan Kayu residents. If elected, my team and I will hit the ground running from the day one. Now let me share what I stand for. I stand for I want to make life more affordable for every Singaporean household. Rising prices are squeezing family budgets. The GST increase to 9%, high utility bills, and escalating costs have made life harder for all of us. We need practical solutions. And that's why the Workers' Party has proposed them. We want to exempt essential goods from GST. We want tiered pricing for utilities so that the lowest income groups can pay less. And we want free public transport in off-peak hours for our seniors and pioneers. Secondly, I stand for supporting young Singaporeans and young families like myself. housing is still a top concern. We need clear affordability metrics for first-time homeowners. We need to allow singles access to housing at a younger age, and we need to bring waiting times back to what they were decades ago. Third, I stand for education that nurtures creativity and critical thinking for our youngest minds. We must reduce examination stress. We must cap class sizes, and we must start schools later so our children can relax a little bit at the end of the school day. Fourthly, I stand for future-ready jobs and skills. In a rapidly evolving economy, Singaporeans need both protection during transitions and support to develop new skills. We need mandatory retrenchment benefits, not just guidelines. And we also need better access to upskilling courses. But most importantly, I stand for Singapore. And standing for Singapore means holding those in power to account. And that is why, when Pritam needed someone to step up and contest in Jalan Kayu, I put myself forward. In July last year, we remember, right? A deal was announced to sell our homegrown NTUC income to a German company. What we didn't know at the time was there was a plan to return $1.85 billion to shareholders within 3 years, and shareholders include Allianz itself. Despite public assurances that Income's social mission would be maintained and protected, there was little that I could see in the offer in the form of concrete, legally binding safeguards to protect this very mission. Remember, Income was built on the backs of Singaporeans like you and me. It was meant to serve a social mission to our communities, to provide affordable insurance to those who could not get it elsewhere. A few years ago, Income was permitted to turn from a cooperative to a company, but on the understanding that it would remain committed to this social mission. Yet barely 2 years later, the NTUC was prepared to approve this troubling deal. Even Professor Tommy Koh, the esteemed Professor Tommy Koh, came out in public against it. In August, the NTUC issued a statement supporting the deal. They said Income needed access to additional resources to fulfill its social mission. Yet, according to NTUC Deputy Secretary General, Mr. Desmond Tan, in his parliamentary statement on the 16th of October, the NTUC Central Committee was unaware of the capital extraction plan until the ministerial statement of 14 October. Let me ask you this. Is this what we deserve? Is this the leadership we want? The situation was so serious, we had to pass emergency legislation to block the deal. A deal that the NTUC publicly endorsed just 2 months before that. And despite their close relationship with the PAP. This is why we need strong opposition voices in Parliament. Because without proper checks and balances, without proper oversight, without people willing to challenge those in power, these kinds of decisions get taken behind closed doors. We were so lucky with the NTUC deal that it got blocked. We may not be so lucky again. I promise you this, if elected, I will never plead ignorance. I will never say, I don't know, when it comes to matters affecting Singaporeans' livelihoods and future. I will ask the hard questions before the decisions are made, not after. Because I want a Singapore where your voice matters, each and every one of you. A Singapore where progress means everyone moves forward together. I believe that is the Singapore that you want too. Residents of Jalan Kayu and all Singaporeans, I invite you to vote for me and vote for the Workers' Party. Together, let us build a Singapore we can all be proud of. Thank you very much.